believe that you deserve better, if you don't believe that it needs to be over, if you don't start training your mind to think and believe the way that it needs to, your mind's going to keep tricking you into the fact that you may still need that person, right? Bible says very clearly, as a man thinketh in his heart, so it is, right? So, Lord, I keep doing that because I'm trying to wave at the folks. Rejection and abandonment. And those are things that you want to deal with before you get in a relationship. Now, will there still be some driplets and some droplets and some residue of like things that you've gone through? Yes, that's possible. But it won't have the authority or the power to determine your decisions. Like, because you'll be able to say, oh, like for me, I can tell when my rejection is in action. I can tell when my abandonment is in action. I can tell when my fear is in action. I can tell when self-doubt is in action. I can tell. I know when stuff is going on, and I know how to cancel that thing. But it takes strong mind power. And how do you get strong mind power? By renewing your mind every day. That's what the Bible say. Renew. What scripture is that? Because I be knowing what the Bible said, but I don't always be like, some like, in this book, and I don't be knowing all that. Romans 12:2. Let me see. Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what is God's will, his good and pleasing, perfect will, right? So here's the thing. Romans 12:12. I probably remember this now because this is good. Do not conform to the ideas of the world. And the ideas of the world will tell you, like, songs and stuff influence us to believe that certain things in relationships are supposed to be a certain way and it's okay. It is not. We see all of these celebrities cheating on their wives, rappers, and the drama and all of that. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, period. No matter what you see, no matter what becomes normal to the eye, do not conform. Be transformed by renewing your mind daily. On my team, so this is another thing. All of you that are a part of the Freedom Girl Gang, which is my mentorship program / Get Money Gang, the first thing that we do every day is we work on this. First thing on we got 6 things we do every day to make money and to get better. Number 1, mindset. Get your prayer in. If it means watching a YouTube video, if it means listening to an Audible book, like what you feed your brain, you give the power to grow. What you feed yourself comes out, right? Like just like when you eat your food, it goes out. You drink water, it comes out. You know what I'm saying? Everything you feed your brain comes out. So renew your mind with things that you want to stick. That's literally like planting seeds. Like every day you wake up and say, Monday, I'm going to plant a seed of faith. That's what I'm going to study. Tuesday, I'm getting out of an abusive relationship. I'm going to plant a seed of why I need to stay out. The next day, what was it? We on Wednesday? Wednesday, I need to get a wealthy mindset. Let me read a book on how to make my business grow, how to save money, whatever. Thursday.
Can you come to the social work?
Thursday, I woke up feeling kind of heavy. I don't know what I'm feeling. I just need something to inspire me. What I do, I pull up my good girl Sarah Jakes. Gets me back together. Friday, you might just need to put some worship music on. Saturday, workout. Whatever it is, feed yourself the seeds that you need so that way you can start renewing your mind, okay? All right, I feel like I'm missing some stuff. I don't like when I miss stuff. Good morning. Oh, okay, this is a good one too. How do you stop comparing yourself to other women? It's a really good question. I wish you, I think the replay is still up, but I did a teaching, Q&A with another girls ministry. I posted it on my page. It's CYBS, I think, but we did it on Saturday and we're talking about insecurities, right? And the beautiful thing is you have to, when you look at another woman and you're admiring something about her, if you start feeling yourself getting jealous, like immediately correct that and be like, oh, I don't want to be jealous. If you admire something about another woman, that is okay. If you like her hair and you want to try your hair that way, do it. If you like her outfit and you want to try and see what that outfit looks like on you, do it. Right now, don't become like make somebody your idol and you do everything that Rihanna does. You wear everything that Rihanna does. You change your hair when Rihanna does. Like, that's when you have an idol. That's when we have an issue. But if you're looking at another woman, don't look at her and see what's less than you. Look at her and say, wow, I like that. Let me see if I can try that, or if that would work for me. Because that's oftentimes what we're doing. We're looking at the other woman and we're saying something about her means that something lacks in me, and that's not the truth. Like, that's not the truth. Then the girl next to you, she's right in her own right. She's beautiful in her own right. But you have to understand that you're beautiful in your own right, and then that comes with inner work. That comes with positive self-talk, and that also comes with renewing your mind, and that also comes with accepting and loving yourself, right? I always feel like this. If there's something on you that you want to change it. If you want to lose weight, lose it. If you want different hair, do different hair. If you want to try makeup, try it, right? And even with girls that get plastic surgery, I feel like some people go overboard. None of my business. But if that's something that you want to do, make sure that you're doing it because you want to do it for you. Not because you're doing it to look like Sally, to look like this girl, to look like that person. Because the one thing that I can understand, especially for moms, you've had multiple children, your body has gone through a lot. It can weigh on your self-esteem, and if you have the finances to change something about yourself, go for it, right? But it's really like an inner thing. So one thing, if you find yourself comparing yourself to other people, stop looking at those people. Like, if you're sitting on social media and you're just looking and looking and looking and looking, and every time you look at somebody you find something wrong with you, stop the scroll. Stop the scroll and start looking at you and start highlighting. I want you to literally write this down. These are the good qualities about me. I have a good heart. I treat people well. I'm punctual. I am organized. I know how to cook. I can start writing down all of the amazing, great things about you that you have probably overlooked because you don't think they're good enough. Write those things down and start comparing yourself to yourself. Now, write a list of negative things, right? Things that you don't like about yourself. You might have a bad attitude. You might be selfish. You might speed when you drive, and that ain't okay. You might be a procrastinator. You know what I'm saying? And start comparing yourself against you every day. How do you join? Girl, I'm so glad you asked. Let me write your name down. There's information in my bio, of course. But I can send you some too. If you want to join the Freedom Girl Gang, or if you want to be a part of the challenge. You too, Catherine? Let me write your name down too. I mean, y'all can DM me too, but I know sometimes what happens is we all forget. We get off the live. We forget that we were supposed to connect. Okay. Sometimes you need to be able to admire another woman and leave it at that. Trying to follow behind somebody else doesn't always work out. Yes. Like, seriously, like, I can look at some women and be like, oh, she is so pretty. And that's it. Like, it's some girls right now, because algorithms on the computer, cookies on the computer will pop up anything that you already look at. So I have a scripture in front of me, but I also have all these wig ads on the other side because the internet just is ghetto and wants you to spend money. But these women are beautiful. And you know what I'm doing? I'm like, oh, they're so pretty. And I like this hair. And I'm going to get that wig. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at with it. But it's not, I don't want another thing too, like when you look at other people and you find yourself comparing yourself to them, always remember it's something about that woman that you don't know, that you might not want to have, that you might not want, that's in her life. Everybody has something. I compare myself to women that have a better career. I feel like I'm not living to my God, up to your God potential, and I'll tell you a little story. So I was in college. When I got to my 4th year, I could not finish. unfortunately. And all my friends went off and they graduated and they did everything that they did. And I was like, dang, like I found myself like, wow, they all graduated. I didn't get to graduate. You know, I still celebrated them, but that was a tough blow. Okay. And I could have sat there and just compared myself to them. But you know what I said? It's their path. That's their life. The sooner you realize that the life that God has created for you is uniquely and divinely created for you, you don't care what other people got going on. Like my I was talking to my mom about this, and she was telling me, she was like, even from conception, like she just knew I was going to be a different child, right? Like it was just something different about me. And ever since then, my life has just been different. The quicker I accepted that I don't live up to society's normals and that I serve a God who is writing my own story his own way, life got sweeter. Okay? So I got off of Facebook and I have peace. Seriously, like social media can be really toxic for some people. Like especially when you're working on your mental and your inner strength or your confidence, when you're working on certain things, like sometimes you just need to take a break and not scroll. There are times when I literally get on social media, I post and get off because I need the mental break. Period. Well, yes, I'm gonna leave this up for 24 hours. Well, it stays up for 24 hours. Okay, y'all. Okay, all of y'all want to be down with the game? Look, there's room for you. Trust me. Anna's Adventurous Life. Like it's really like one of the best little girl gangs ever. Like we make money, but we also grow. Like everybody is growing and doing their own thing at the same time. Miss Parker for real. Oh, okay. I didn't know all of y'all wanted to be Tion. Make sure I get Myra the best. And y'all let me know which y'all want to be a part of. If you want to be part of the girl gang or if you want to be a part of the challenge. That you can do both. What is it that you tell us to join, sis? I just joined now. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. Because if you're posting stuff, it's not that I'm not seeing it. I'm scrolling as they're coming in. So it was the Freedom Girl Gang. If you want more information, there's a video on my bio and there's also a link to join. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. What would you say about dating in young age? Have fun. I feel like you should focus more on friendship. And it depends on your maturity level too, because I do believe that couples can meet in their 20s, get married, and live a prosperous life, right? I even saw a study from a lawyer. She said that couples that get married between, I think, 20 something and 32, their divorce rate is lower. So I don't disagree with people going ahead and getting married. If you know that you know and y'all have agreed to live this life together, you're compatible, go for it. But if you're super young, like teenagers in college, focus on the friendship more than the romantic aspect. Focus on the friendship is what I would say. What Bible verse would you say helps with building confidence? Let's just look some up, because I'm sure there's plenty. Oh, I really wanted to go to the other one. What does the Bible say about self-confidence? I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. For God gave us a spirit of fear. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and self-control. Therefore, do not throw away your confidence, which has a great reward, for you need endurance so that you have done the will of God and may receive what is promised. Don't throw your confidence away. Child, don't throw your faith away. So that, because there is a great reward for that. It's impossible to please God without faith. Hello. Have I not commanded you to be strong and courageous? Do not be frightened. Don't be dismayed, for the Lord is with you wherever you go. Listen, put in scriptures, It's on openbible.info. Scriptures on confidence. Because, baby, they laying it out. When is the right time to give up on a relationship? When you fight always with your partner? Today. No relationship is supposed to be, you ain't supposed to be fighting with people every day. You ain't supposed to be it's disagreements, arguments, things like that. Sure. Fighting? No. Get out of there. Yes. You can join. I will say if you're in Africa and you're watching me in Africa, first of all, thank you, but we don't offer this over there. We do offer it in the UK and some other countries, but we don't offer it in Africa, unfortunately. I wish we did. You are so lovely and genuine. Thank you for your advice. Thank you. Okay. Okay, everybody wants to join. Chocolate Beauty _ My little list over here is getting long. I don't know where I'm going to put y'all. Okay. I need y'all to DM me because I'm going to forget. Chocolate Beauty. Okay. Greater is he that is in me than is okay. That is in the world, okay? Psalms 139:14. Freedom Girl Game, please. Yep, I got you. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made, and my soul is well. There is a question in the question box. Okay. Hey, girl, hey. That didn't disappear. Okay, let me go ahead and pull it up. All right. This is a good one. Can I go on with the relationship when he doesn't trust me and I'm trying to see reason? I wouldn't. 9 times out of 10, this is what I feel about trust. If you are a trustworthy person and they don't trust you, it's something in them that is wrong. Okay? Unless you have a track record of being not trustworthy, then you've planted some seeds of doubt in him, but it's also in him to decide whether he's going to forgive you or not. Either he's going to forgive you or he ain't. And if he's not, he needs to go the other way. You know what I'm saying? Because why hold you into bondage of him having trust issues with you if you really have changed, right? He can just start fresh with somebody else. I mean, that's something that, even I feel like there are some people I'm just like, I can forgive you, but I ain't going to trust you again. And that's just where I'm at with it. So I'm not going to lead you on. Okay. What would you say to someone in their 20s who's never been in a relationship but desires to be in one? One, identify why you want to be in a relationship. If you're just lonely, go find some hobbies. Do something really, really use your 20s to date, have friends, all that good stuff. But don't be so pinned up on it. Make sure that you want a relationship for the right reasons, right? Because you desire partnership, that you want to explore the romantic side of it. Make sure you know what real love is. Make sure you know what relationships take. Make sure that you don't have any hidden toxicities inside of you that are going to come out later in the relationship. Make sure your expectations and your standards are clear so that way you don't settle, right? So that's what I would tell you. But have fun. Okay, so there's a couple questions in here. How do you know when it's safe to be vulnerable? So for me, I like to go with the peace, the peace of God. I have built my discernment up to a place where if I don't have peace about somebody, I trust it. Now, there's a difference between paranoia and your discernment, right? Paranoia is normally you feeling nervous because you feel like you're going to get caught because you're doing something wrong. That's normally when you're paranoid, right? Let's go ahead and break this because I broke this down the other day. Paranoia. Because there's a difference, believe it or not. So a paranoid personality, it's actually a disorder. Wow, I didn't even know that it was a disorder. It deals with delusions, persecution, jealousy, exaggerated self-importance, typically elaborated into an organized. Okay, so we got that. When you don't feel paranoid, you have peace, go for it. Discernment. Discernment is like you just know. It's like that. For me, it's like that. I just know that I know that I know. I don't feel scared. I don't feel none of that. I just know that I know that I know. And discernment means that you are able to judge things well. Okay? The ability to judge things well. Yeah. So that's when you know it's okay for you to be vulnerable. When you feel it in your shanana, that it's okay. You feel safe. You'll have peace about it. Okay. Okay. There's another question. Let me answer this one in the box, and then I'll answer that other one. This is a really good question. Okay, so we have two questions. What are some reasons to get into a relationship? And then we have this one. So a couple of reasons to get in a relationship is because you want to get married. Hello. You want to build a family. You want to have children. You want a partner, right? Like you don't want to live this life by yourself. You want someone that you live the life with. Because naturally we were made to live this thing out with somebody, right? So those are a couple reasons. You want to grow. Because relationships are going to make you grow. Okay? So those are just a few. How do you get over a narcissist ex? Okay, so I've done a lot of studying on not just narcissists and narcissism, but toxic relational behaviors. And one thing that you have to realize is that someone doesn't have to be a narcissist to act like one, right? You have to be clinically diagnosed, but the reality is, they can still have the behaviors because there's a lot of them. So toxic is toxic. So how do you get over a toxic relationship? 1, no contact. No contact. Okay. Period. Because it's toxic. Or if you have children together, set some boundaries, right? You only need to talk about the child. Everything else is null and void. If it's toxic, it is toxic. Period. I got a little carried away with my dance. But I need y'all to see, like, when 1 and 1 is supposed to come 2. No. Go no contact. Next, educate yourself on those behaviors. If it was any emotional abuse, educate yourself on emotional abuse. If it was financial abuse, educate yourself on financial abuse. If it was mental abuse, educate on mental abuse. If it was a lot of all of that, physical, everything, and I do encourage this, read books on narcissism. I just started reading a new book today. Well, listening on Audible, but all the same. Educate yourself. Education is what is going to, 1, save you from making that mistake a second time, and 2, it's going to help you heal. The more you know that you are not crazy, the better you will feel about walking away. Okay? Narcissists are dangerous people. It is a mental disorder. It is something that they have to want to work on themselves, and they'll come to you and say, I'm going to counseling, I'm doing this, da-da-da. But if you don't know that if they're not walking in those counselors' doors and saying, I have toxic behaviors of, can you help me with that? They're going in there and telling them counselors and therapists whatever they want to tell them, and they're working with them on that. Which is why you won't see the fruit of the other stuff. Okay? So, also, I literally, because I was in therapy for months, right? And then I felt like me and my therapist had kind of hit a plateau, and we were at our stage of where we are. And I was like, I don't think she's who I need now for this next process. God is so dope because, I pray, I ask, and I'm like, God, I want a therapist that specializes in recovery from toxic relationships. Found one, had my initial consultation, and we've already started working. Like, the book that I'm reading now is part of the process, and he was very, very impressed. He was like, you have so much knowledge. He was like, he said, it just sounds like you probably just need to do a little bit more inner healing stuff. And I was like, yeah. I was like, because I want this to be like, I want it to be rid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew what I needed to do based off of research, but now walk me through some of the stuff that I, Jennifer, need to work on. So as I go through my process, I'll let y'all know how to go. But find a therapist. Find a therapist, because another thing that people don't realize is that toxic relationships can cause brain damage, right? This one book broke it down to which lobe and everything, and I was wondering why my mind was doing certain things, but I was like, now I get it, because I legitimately probably, if they did like they said if they did a scan of your brain, it would show what happened. I ain't go through all of that, but I'm pretty sure that I had it because it just made sense, right? But find you a good therapist, keep yourself educated, and when you feel like, because they always come back, right? That's the name of the game. They discard you, and then they realize they made a huge mistake. You're the best person for them, and then they come back. But all they're doing is coming back to start the cycle all over again. And if you are educated, hear me on this, ladies, if you are educated, you will be able to see what's happening. And God will piece that thing together to you, and he will show you their tactics before they even try them. Okay? And you'll just be sitting back like, I know what comes next. I know what comes next. And I know what comes next. And you're not going to fall for it. Okay? Okay, let me scroll up and see. Gaslighting is manipulative, and you don't realize it until you are out of it. Yes. You do not realize it until you are out of it. It's like you have this come to Jesus moment where the light is like, and you're like, who was I for all of that time that I was in there? Who was I? Why couldn't I see this? How do you stop blaming yourself after failed relationships and not allow it to damage your self-worth? Good question, because God gave me this revelation about my last relationship, and he pretty much told me to stop blaming myself, because the individual wanted to share responsibility, and God was very clear. He said, you have a call on 9. He said, you were in an abusive relationship, an abusive, toxic relationship, and you were not the abuser or the toxic partner. It was not your fault. I didn't design you, daughter, to know how to respond to abuse. I didn't design you, daughter, to have to know how to respond to toxic behaviors. That's not my will for you. That's not the life I want for you. So if you did react in some ways that were unfavorable, come to me, your father, and repent to me and ask me to change your heart. But it's not your fault that that person was abusive and toxic to you. That's not my will for you. Don't you hold on to that. And baby, when I say, you know what, God? You're right. I'm not blaming myself for this anymore. It wasn't me. I didn't know I was gonna be with somebody and they were gonna be this person today and then turn into this person this day and then turn into that person and then do this and go against everything that they. I didn't know that. There's no way I prepared to be a wife. My battery was getting I got 20%, y'all. I'm probably less than an hour, but God, you prepared me to be a wife. You didn't prepare me for this. You prepared me to serve and honor you with my marriage, to do ministry, to be a helpmate. You didn't prepare me for abuse and for toxicity. So yeah, that's how. My mom does inner healing. It's great. Yes, Mom. Looking for a therapist now. Listen, and finding a therapist it can be a task because you have to date them and kind of figure out who's the best for you. Yes, brain damage. I didn't know that either until I read. That's why education is so key in your healing process. How do you release the relationship when your child's involved? You release the relationship and you put boundaries. If you need legal boundaries, get them. Meaning, and if he was abusive to you, protect you and your child. Do what you have to do for protection. Don't let that pull on your heartstrings, because y'all have a child, and I get it, it will. But the reality of it is, depending on the severity of the toxicity, the more it hurts you, the more it's going to hurt that child. Your child doesn't want to see you like that. And guess what? It will start affecting your relationship and how you treat your child. So boundaries. Talk about, create a line of communication that works best for you, whether you email, text, leave voicemails, have a third party, whatever it is. Do what you need to do for you. My view on celibacy, celibacy means that you're abstaining from marriage and sex. So I am not celibate. I would be abstinent. I am abstaining from sex until I am married. So, because I want to be married. So that's how I feel about that. I feel like, it's a personal decision that you make, just like people who drink, just like people who make other decisions that, honor your beliefs. For me, it was like not having sex outside of the context of marriage is protection for me. I understand soul ties. I understand all of that stuff. For me, it's a distraction. I need to be focused. How do you make new friends in your 30s after you lose a close friendship because of constant arguing? The Bible says in order to gain friends, you must first be friendly. Be the friend that you want to be. Put yourself in atmospheres. Join groups of people that have the same interests. Make friends through friends. It models the pattern of dysfunction, and they grow up thinking abuse is normal. That's when the cycle starts. Yes. Do I have a podcast? I do have a podcast, and I recorded a podcast today called The Girl Code. So I'm going to share it in my stories. But if you already have my podcast, you can already go to it. But I'm going to share it in my stories, and I'm going to put a link in my link bio. Let me do that now, because that'd probably be the easiest way. Link in bio, go to my link bio. Boom. Link bio. Any other questions, sisters? I'm so excited for you guys to join the Freedom Girl Gang. For one, whether you join today or you join another day, welcome to the party. Okay. Did I add the right thing? I did not. Okay. Okay, so the podcast is up there now. It's just going to say podcast until I put a photo up there. Freedom Girl Gang join link is there, and there's a video explaining what the Freedom Girl Gang is. So everything's in my bio now. What books do you recommend for singles? A lot of stuff by Michelle McKinney. She's thebomb.com. Keys to Being an Irresistible Woman, Secrets to a Man's Heart. Hands down, I recommend her. Just off the top of my head. The podcast is about, it's called I'm Single So What. I've changed the name several times, but I think I like the one that I have now. It's called I'm Single So What, and this podcast is about the Girl Code. Do I have a book? I do. And I have it near me. I am a self-published author, and I am working on my, well, technically third book, because I have an ebook, but it'll be my second paperback book. working on that now. Hopefully I'll have that out sooner than later because it's pretty much done for the most part. I guess I need to put a link to that too in my bio. And this link will also have dang, what is it? Weebly. I don't remember, but I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna put a link for my books on my link bio too. See, y'all helping me today because this is stuff that I kept saying that I needed to do, and I was procrastinating. And I'm on TikTok. Like, y'all gotta follow me on TikTok. Oh yeah, I have a bunch of book recommendations on this page. I just need to figure out how to get to it. Or I know what I can do. I know exactly what I can do. Save image. Book cover. Save image. And then what is the link here? Copy the link. Choose an image. Boom. Book is added. Just like that. Sometimes I feel like I can't get no one as good as my ex. How can I stop thinking that? If your ex was that good, y'all would still be together. Unless you messed up. If you messed up, I can understand that. But release yourself from that guilt and that shame. And start believing, professing, and praying for what you want. Thank you. I've broken up with my ex for about a year now. But he is blocked from all social medias, but he makes fake pages to stalk me to this day. It's called hovering. It won't stop. Let him stalk on. Let him admire you in your life going on great without him. I've just put the link for my book in my bio. It's right under the podcast. I can ship out I can literally ship it out from my desk today. I needed this today thing. Anytime. It is disturbing, but unfortunately that's what people do. Like, what's the name of your book? My Wi-Fi got weird. Good Girl Going Bad, Going Holy. The link is in my bio though. Divorced after 15 years, marriage, and 6-year-old inner healing. I recently got into a relationship 1 year. Found everything is great lately. He's changed from my gut feelings, telling me to cut it. You know that you know. I always tell people, like, when you know that you know that you know, go with that. Yes, I like to ship them out myself because I actually, like, sign them and send you a message. It's more personable to me than some factory just shipping you a book. Trust your gut. I mean, and this is what I do. I'll be like, okay, I feel like something's off. God, show me. Give me the confirmation that I need to leave. And then I'm out. Once the confirmation comes through, I'm out of there. First time joining live. Nice to see the face behind back. Hey, girl. I try to post myself on a page, too, because I don't want people to just be like, oh, it's just quotes. Okay, I'm trying to click the question box. Okay, there we go. And for the person that says they like my cup, my mom makes them. Her page is Faithfully Dressed. My nickname is Juju, so that's why it's on there. She literally, like, the glitter, she customized these. I have so many of these cups. She makes shirts, too. My favorite color is lavender. I never regretted following my God. I've always regretted the times that I haven't. Me too, girl. Like, but like, you knew. You knew. Have you always been a wise soul? Yeah. I have been. I've always been like ahead of my time. Even as a kid, my mom said I was always just different, and I was always just ahead. And you know, wisdom is a gift. So now I know that it's a gift from God. How do you become fearless in all areas of your life and not worry about what people think? It's a process, but you know, with good prayer, good fasting, and again, if you were on earlier, renewing your mind. Like, you have to start telling yourself the things you want to believe about yourself and canceling out every lie. You have to make God the truth and everything else a liar, literally. And it can be a process, but it also can be very easy too, because it's all like, people don't realize how easy it is to believe something, and they don't realize how easy it is that they choose to choose not to believe something. Like, belief is a choice, and choices can be made just like that. Just because you feel something doesn't mean you have to believe it. But like, I feel this way, but I don't choose to believe that I'm depressed. I choose to believe that I am a conqueror, that I am strong and confident, and God is even in this moment working on this depression, and it is fleeing from me in Jesus' name. Okay? My ex broke up with me about 2 weeks ago. I'm trying to move on, but all I think about was the good times, how we decorated his home. Now I feel like I made him, and some other chick is going to enjoy everything that she's worked for. Don't you hate that? Because it's like, I poured so much of me into you, but you want to know something? I believe that everything we give is a seed. Everything we sow into somebody else is a seed. So don't look at it as what you lost. Start expecting a harvest for what you've sown. Okay? For what you've given to someone else, you receive back. And guess what? You gave from your supply, which means now he doesn't have access to you anymore. And he got that measure of you, but he's not going to get it anymore. Now you take you and your goodness and all your great seeds, and you go and save it until it's time to pour it into the right ground. He wasn't it. You served your purpose for him. You sowed good seeds. Bless him and let him go. You have given me inspiration. Thank you. I feel encouraged. Now, you're welcome. Thank you. Okay. How do you let go of fears around love and be able to let love in? Fear is a risk. You're always going to be risking diving off the deep end. It's a risk. You want to know why it's a risk? Because we don't have any control over people. Only God does. And even God gives people free will to do what they want to do. It's a risk. You should take a calculated risk, meaning you should weigh out your options. Look at the person's life, their goals, their mindset, pray about it, get peace, take a few steps before just dumping off the deep end. But love is a risk. Relationships are a risk, because people can wake up one day, go to sleep, and turn to another person. And if they decide, today this is who I want to be, or this is what I want to do, ain't nothing you can do about it. What do you do? So it's a risk. You deal with the reason you have that fear. You deal with those fears. And that's something that my therapist is going to be working with me on. So the more I learn, I'll get back to you. I need a new phone because this is starting to get ghetto. I think I've had this phone probably almost 2 years. Oh, these are some really, I didn't mean to write that. Okay, there's some really good questions in there, but I don't want to miss what's in the comments right now. Okay. How do you get a better perspective of men in your life? I think this culture is ruining my views on the opposite sex, right? Okay, so you want to start, of course, everybody's reality is that they don't have the ideal man as their model, right? But gain heaven's perspective. Like, God, what is a man supposed to look like? How is a man supposed to treat me? How is a man supposed to be? What is it that I'm supposed to be looking for? The things you focus on grow. The things you focus on, you end up bringing into your life, right? So the way you're going to gain the perspective is changing your perspective. And how is that going to come? Renewing your mind. And in ignoring, like, whatever's that negative thing that you're feeding yourself, stop feeding yourself. If it's on social media, unfollow those pages. If it's an article, don't read it. Like, you got to know what triggers certain thoughts in you and certain emotions in you that makes you think and feel a certain way, and cancel them out. A lot of people, y'all just dive straight into the certain things, and then you don't know how it's affecting you. Even music. How do you fear of your beloved cheating on you just because he's done it before, and apologizing as possible he's not doing it again, but you think that he is, and there's insecurities. So I feel like this is how I feel about cheating relationships when you decide to go ahead and take the person back. And let me put my charger in, because if this phone cuts off, it's gonna be real ghetto. I feel like the cheating partner should do what is needed to build back up that security and trust in the partner who was cheated on. Right? But I also feel like it's the other person's responsibility to do the inner healing that they need outside of that person to make sure that they can receive the changed person. It's a two person working situation, but everybody has to do their part. Yes, count the cost. Do you think it's okay to date someone that's much older? Yep. My last relationship, the gentleman was 10 years older than me. I'm just going to send a letter. Oh, y'all, I got 2 minutes remaining. This was good, but they finna kick me out. Maybe I'll come back after my lunch break, or maybe I'll come back this evening, because there's still some more questions in there. But if you're catching the replay or you're on here now, go ahead and hit that link in my bio. Get the book if you need the book. Put your question in the question box so when I go live again, I can answer it. And if you want to join the Freedom Girl game, make sure you DM me and hit the link in my bio. But I got to roll, and I want to make sure that this saves. So, bye.